Many years ago, in a small fishing village called Umwezike, there lived a man named Chukwu. He was not lazy. He woke before sunrise every morning. He mended his nets by lamplight every night. But the river had been unkind for months. Some evenings he returned home with barely enough to feed one person, let alone four. His wife Ada never complained. She would share her own portion between the children and call it enough. But Chukwu saw everything. He saw the sandals his daughter Chisom tied together with wire. He saw his son Ikena watch other children walk to school while he stayed behind. One evening, Ikena tugged Ada's wrapper. Mama, when will I go to school? Ada smiled. Soon. But her eyes told a different story. That night, after everyone slept, Chukwu sat outside alone. For the first time in years, he wept, not from shame, from helplessness. The next morning, he rose before the village stirred. He paddled to a part of the river the elders had warned against for generations, the deep bend. Nobody fished there. Nobody explained why. The river was unusually still. Then he saw her, a woman in white, seated at the water's edge. Around her, fish gathered near the surface in numbers Chukwu had never seen in 15 years of fishing. She turned slowly and looked at him. He could not move. She spoke first. Why are you afraid? I am not afraid, he said. She smiled. Then cast your net. He obeyed. When he pulled, the weight nearly overturned his canoe. The net was full, more fish than he had caught in 3 weeks combined. He looked up to thank her. She was gone. Only the water moved where she had been. That evening, Ada stood at the door and could not speak. The children ran around the fish, screaming with joy. Where did this come from? Ada finally asked. Chukwu looked toward the river. I am not sure you would believe me. That night, everyone ate until they were satisfied, even Ada. The next morning, the woman was waiting. You may return here whenever you wish, she said. But remember one thing. Every morning, release 3 healthy fish back into the river. Chukwu frowned. Why? The river gives. The river must also receive. He did not fully understand, but he agreed. Seasons changed. His children finished school. Ada expanded her trade. Their roof no longer leaked. The family that once survived on borrowed hope was now standing on solid ground. The village noticed. Some celebrated with him. Others whispered. Chukwu ignored them all. Every morning, 3 fish returned to the river. Every morning, the river answered. Then, slowly, without noticing, he changed. He wanted a bigger canoe, then a larger house, then to be wealthier than every man in Umuezik. One morning, he looked at the 3 fish in his basket. Big fish, valuable fish. He hesitated. Then he kept them. Nothing happened. The day's catch was even larger. He laughed quietly. So it was only superstition. He kept the fish the next morning, and the next. The woman grew distant. Some mornings she appeared without speaking. Then she stopped appearing altogether. Then the losses began. His catches thinned. Ada's customers disappeared. School fees became difficult again. The savings he thought would never end started vanishing. Then Ida fell ill. One evening he sat beside her in the quiet house. She looked at him for a long time before speaking. Do you remember when we had nothing? He nodded. Back then all you wanted was to feed your children. A tear moved down her face. Now you want more than everyone else. Those words did not just wound him, they showed him himself. Before sunrise the next morning, he returned to the deep bend. He carried 3 fish. He released them into the water. Then he sat on the bank. I forgot, he said quietly. I'm sorry. The river did not answer. The woman never returned. But something settled inside him that morning that had been restless for years. He stopped chasing more. He started protecting enough. The river provided again. Not great wealth, not extraordinary abundance, just enough. Enough for his children to build their own lives. Enough for Ada to grow old and happy beside him. Enough peace to sleep well at night. In his old age, Chukwu sat beside the river every morning. He still released 3 fish, not seeking reward, not expecting the woman, just remembering. And he would tell anyone who sat beside him, "The day I had nothing, I only wanted enough. The day I had everything, I wanted more. The river taught me that enough, protected and appreciated, becomes everything." The elders of Umwezike say that if you visit the deep bend before sunrise on a very still morning, you will see fish gathering near the bank, as though someone is standing there, watching, waiting to see if the next person learns the lesson before it is too late. If you like emotional, educative stories like this, please subscribe to this channel. Share to someone that may like to see this story. I will see you in my next video.